Alrighty, welcome to episode 1 of Ginger and the Giant. I am Danilo Sipovac, and
I am Nick Walker.
perfect. Well, Nick, we were just talking. You still look very, very lean in your face.
Diet face, bro. Did you see my photos this morning?
The ones from Instagram?
Yeah, the ones I just posted from the basement.
Yeah.
Why do I look leaner, bro?
I know, it's pretty fucking crazy. So you said you're 259 today, which that was you weren't that at Pittsburgh, you weren't that in New York either.
No, so like for Pittsburgh, I was 264, and then New York, I was 262, and then the highest my weight got after the way we ate and stuff, and obviously that was probably just more fluid. Was like what did I say, 272?
Yeah.
And then I held that for like a day, and I was like, oh shit, like, it usually drops.
Yeah.
But I also just figured like I ate probably over 2 pounds of red meat, so I'm like that shit's sticking mad hard. And then I went to bed after the second night, and bro, I woke up at 264.
You dropped 8 pounds?
I dropped 8 pounds. And then I was like, oh, okay, cool. And that was like my check-in day that Kyle wanted photos. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
So he sent me a diet. It wasn't like a crazy amount of carbs yet. It was only like 300 grams worth. So I'm like, okay, slow approach. That's cool. And then the next night, I dropped the next day, I dropped to 261. So I'm like, oh shit. So I let him know. And then I let him know like later in the day because I totally forgot. So he was like, all right, last meal, do like 100 grams of carbs of cream of rice or whatever. So I'm like, okay. So I did. And then this morning I woke up at 259.
Did you tell him yet?
Yeah, I sent him the check-in. That's why I posted those.
That's so crazy.
So then he laughed. So like he sent me like an all new diet this morning, and it was only like a little over 400 grams of carbs, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna need more than this, bro. And he's like, trust. He's like, trust. He's like, slow and steady. Well, I'm not trying to get you fat in 6 weeks. And he's like, you also have a cheat meal tomorrow. I'm like, I don't think you understand how my body's rolling right now.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'll trust. So yeah, 259. But this is what happened to my body even like last year too. I actually would go lower than what I actually was on stage, and then it'll just start to
slowly go up.
Yeah. So
well, it's nice because you go lower, you get a lot more food, and then as you start to slowly go up, your food's already pretty high.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we can get by the time we actually start cutting. I would like my carbs. I would hope to be around like 600, and still be in a very, very lean state. So that way, like we don't have to cut too drastic. I mean, I don't mind it, but
no, I mean, you're
cardio wise, we're only doing about a half hour right now.
Oh, it's not too bad at all. Is he going to take?
I don't know why. Cardio feels. I like it. I hope he doesn't. But cardio feels really, really good right now. I don't mind it at all. I get up, I go right on my treadmill, 7 incline at like a 2.5 walk, which isn't too drastic for me at this point now, considering I was doing like a 10 incline. So I get a nice sweat. I feel good. I don't feel overly fatigued, and that's it.
Well, it keeps good routine in too, especially after a show, you know.
It does, and I think I will say like after these both these shows, considering they were back to back like that, I feel good. Like I don't feel fatigued. I felt tired a little bit, obviously, because I didn't sleep at all after the show. You know that.
Yep.
And then we traveled back, and then I traveled back home, and we were training throughout. So like for a day or two, I was kind of just tired, but I didn't feel like fatigued or anything else, and now I feel fine after a couple good nights of sleep.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's generally how you should feel. Like you shouldn't be completely feeling like dog shit after a show, you know. And I think this is like the first time you've ever felt this way, because usually you would feel like shit afterwards.
I would feel like dog shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, don't touch me. I don't want to go to a gym. I want to retire. I don't want to do this anymore. This is bullshit. Like, and
Yep.
I would win. I would win. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I'm just like, now I'm just tunnel visioned to go win the Olympia. We
When
got
I
20
texted
weeks.
you the other day, I was like, "How do you feel mentally?" You're like, "Television for Olympia." I'm like, "Well, this is good. You feel great.
I
That's what
feel great.
matters."
I
Good.
know who is the best bodybuilder who ever put up like 93 days. I'm like, bro, that's like 12 weeks. We got way more than 12 weeks, you bimbo.
People don't know how to fucking do
Like,
days.
we're not 12 weeks out. What are you talking about?
No, that's
We're like
stupid.
we're like 5 months and some change.
Yeah, it's like 20. It's 20 weeks. I think this weekend, actually, tomorrow.
Yeah, so I'm like, someone don't know how to fucking count.
Well, he doesn't know how to count, and he always posts some very controversial things.
Yes, very stupid stuff.
So let's. I want to kind of recap the last 2 weeks, I guess, because they were very eventful 2 weeks when we were
Yeah,
in Pittsburgh and went to New York.
how detailed are we leaving some details out or
It's up to you. We can go all the way if you want.
uh no,
Let's start
let's
like
leave it out
Pittsburgh
because
because
I actually gotta there's other info that just happened that I gotta inform you
oh,
on after the podcast.
alrighty then. That's okay. Let's start because
Uh,
you and I left off training around like the 5 week out mark when you went up to Jersey.
oh, we were going
So
back that far, yeah.
yeah, because
So
you were
yeah,
up in Jersey.
after you guys I guess decided what was it? April, right? It was April?
Yeah, it was like second week of April, mid-April, I
Yeah,
think.
you guys where did you guys
Yeah.
go again?
So we went to the West Coast to visit family,
That's
and
right.
you were like, I'm out of here. You're like, I'm not staying in Florida.
Yeah, if you because it wasn't like you guys were gone for like a few days. You were gone for like a couple weeks. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not staying here. So I'm just gonna go back home to Jersey. And that was like what 6 weeks out, I guess.
Yeah, or like 5, 6 weeks out.
And honestly, that's just when I just felt like my body just took off like a madman at that
Hmm.
point. Like it was like every day there was changes being made.
Yeah.
Then it just felt right. And then obviously, well, 2 weeks out, I went to Kyle's house. We stayed there for like a whole week. We got good training in. He looked at me every single morning after every workout.
Hmm.
Then that Sunday, we all drove up to the Airbnb and got together on Sunday. And then it was peak week from there.
Yeah. I think the funny thing is, and Maria and I were talking about this, how you were like, yeah, I'm probably not going to talk a lot during peak week. You were like cracking jokes and laughing, like all the way up, even through until show day, too. And I feel like,
Yeah.
again, that's something that's like not
Because
usual for
I'm
you,
so
but
I'm so used to like just being very silent and not
yeah.
so it's like I was like I don't feel that way.
No, I know. I know. It's cool to see though,
So
because like a lot of people will think like you're still very focused during that time, but at the same time too, like you're around your people, so you can actually like enjoy it and have fun.
it was relaxing for the
Good.
most part that
The
week.
majority of it, yeah. New York was a
Yeah.
lot more relaxing than Pittsburgh was.
Yeah, especially since there was no stairs in New York.
Yeah, we're not doing that Airbnb again. If we go to Pittsburgh, that it was the basement. There was the second flight of stairs and the third flight of stairs. So anytime you had to go to the bathroom, it was either up or down.
And I was going up and down steps, I felt like all day because after
Yeah.
every meal, Kyle was like, go weigh yourself. And then if I had to pee or something, I'm going down steps, I'm going up steps. I'm like,
Mhm.
fuck, man.
And you didn't want to move your scale, so you had to continue
No,
to go up the steps.
after so long, I'm like, this is the spot. Like, I can't fuck it
Yeah.
up now. Like, this is where this is where the OCD comes out. Like, this is where
Yeah.
it stays. So
That's
I was
okay.
like, I'm not moving it now.
No, no, no. That was I enjoyed it. I think Pittsburgh was fun. I mean, besides the actual outcome, if you want to touch on it a little bit, just because the whole bodybuilding community, obviously everybody had you winning, and rightfully so.
Oh yeah, I mean, let's. I think after prejudging, I just remember getting off stage, and I looked at Kyle, and I'm like, bro, did I win? And he's like, I don't. see it really any other way. I felt like he blew him away on every shot pretty much.
Yeah.
And then hearing obviously everybody from the show, hearing you guys, seeing social media, looking at photos myself, I'm like, I'm gonna win. Like
Yeah.
we just got to come back. Maybe I would say slightly tighter,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be, which I think we did. And I'm like, I got this shit in the fucking bag.
Hmm.
And then, obviously it became a tie, and then they took it to a third round, which never happens.
No.
And then he won, So I was actually like, I wasn't mad at myself because I knew, or Kyle for that matter, because I knew we did everything we could to be the best we could. It was just more of when or you think you're going to win a show and you don't. So
Totally.
it was probably the only show, honestly, that I actually showed my emotion on stage a little bit.
Yeah.
Even when I lost the Arnold to Samson, like I didn't even really show emotion. Like I still smiled, took my shit, and then I threw
Hmm.
my fit, back at the hotel. But I didn't wait. I actually showed a lot of that directly on stage and a little backstage. And
Yeah.
that's just because, like, I guess because this was a show where it's like I've been counted out for the past 2 years, and no one
Totally.
thought, I was even gonna be where I was at. So I'm like, if I don't win, this isn't gonna go well.
Hmm.
But then it's like, everybody and their mother thought quote unquote, got robbed. So even though I
Yeah.
didn't win, I end up after calming down and letting the emotions subside. I look at it as a win regardless.
Totally. Well, I think it's really cool because I think that day you gained a lot of like new perspectives from people too. And like there were individuals that preferred
Yeah.
Derek and they were like, no, Nick won. Like they literally were like, I preferred Derek's physique, but Nick won the show. But I also think too, with how the response was after the show, everyone was like, Nick actually handled it pretty well. I would have lost my shit, this, and that. So I think overall, you impress a lot of people just with how you handled it. Even though, yeah, like you were upset, but it's not like you were throwing a fit on stage, right? You just were like, well, "Fuck, I thought I won." Like an
No,
actual like I thought.
you could just definitely see it on my face, without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Have you seen all the? I don't know if you've seen on Jacked memes. They're using a shitload of stuff from the show, dude. It's so funny. It was
I've
hilarious.
seen a couple that are probably, there was one in specific which I'm sure you probably saw, that was the absolute truth of a meme, and I thought it
Yeah,
was very funny.
it was hilarious, dude. There were like 4 different sides of you in that post.
I,
But with Kyle, even too, with the show, I think as big of a show as it was for you, and even you on paper you didn't win, but again, like with you actually doing the show, I think it was a big statement for you and for Kyle too. For I mean, you're
yeah,
his biggest athlete, and rightfully so. Like this created a lot of momentum for the both of you guys together, but also as individuals too.
I agree. I think for Kyle as a coach, right? I always knew Kyle was smart. I always knew Kyle was intelligent. I always, even back in
Yeah.
2019, and he also kind of already knew my body just from, obviously the body changes drastically year from year, but he's seen a lot of, what even Matt used to do with my body back in the day, how it responded to certain things. Not that, it responds the same, but, it's not completely going to change.
Totally.
And that was one of the reasons why I even chose him. So I'm like, he's already got an idea of how my body somewhat operates.
Right.
But I just think Kyle never had that elite athlete that was at,
Mhm.
I don't even say even at my level, but someone that just had that robotic mindset,
Yeah.
and that just lives, breathes, and sleeps this, and lives that selfish lifestyle, lives that bodybuilding lifestyle, like lives it to the fullest, and won't steer from it, won't do dumb shit,
Hmm.
like no offense, like all the influencer people that he has.
Yeah.
And this was going to be a moment for him to really showcase what he's really made of as a coach, as well as it's a risk for him, but even a bigger risk for me because everyone's like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
So, and the fact that I believe we pretty much nailed it on our first show.
Hmm.
I do think there, you know, obviously there's always things that could be better, but overall, our first show, I think we truly nailed it. I think we nailed New York, and I just think this helped me tremendously, and I think it'll help him even get more bodybuilders versus, you know, YouTube people.
Totally. Well, I think too, it instills a lot more trust that you have in him now that you've actually seen he can do it, not just for one show, but for two shows back to back as well too.
Yeah, yeah, it's quite the experience. You know, I and it's
Mhm.
funny too because there was a time. It was before I left to Jersey where I finally felt like my body was starting to really move and groove. And he texted me and he's like, "Did you ever doubt me?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, I did actually. I did for a
Yeah.
while."
Well, even when in Pittsburgh, when he was like about the Czech cereal, you were like, no. And he's like, just do it. Just eat the fucking meal. And you did it. And you're like, okay, I can see how this works.
Yeah, I digested well. I'm like, all right, I get it. Fuck it.
Yeah,
Check cereal. Here we are eating cereal. Never done this before.
it works, bro. And I think, I really do think too, I mean, his excitement, especially after like he won New York, it was cool because Kyle, if anybody knows Kyle, he doesn't show emotion really
Zero.
a lot. If you're like a close friend of his, you see it more often. But like if you meet him in
Yeah.
person, he's very just there's no emotion
You
there.
don't you
So
don't know if he's sad. You don't know if he's happy. You don't
yeah,
know if his jokes are funny or not meant to be funny. You
yep,
don't know if his insults are jokes or serious.
yeah,
Like
no,
he literally just has still face 24/7.
all the time. But
Even
as
when
soon as you,
even when he's stressed out. Even when he's stressed out, you don't know if he's stressed out or not.
I think that's good though, especially in like situations for shows, because if something goes sideways and he has to fix it, he doesn't show it to his athletes or anybody around him. But like behind
No, he'll
closed
just be
doors, he's like,
like,
oh fuck,
he'll just be like, okay, we're
yeah.
good. And it's like, nah.
It's, I mean, it's a good and a bad thing. It has its, I guess, its perks to it.
Yeah, I mean, he never really even complimented me until it was like the second or third day I was with him in Iron Revolution, and we posed in the morning, and he was just like, he took a picture. I could hear him. He took. I did my back double or backward something, and all I hear
Mhm.
is, "Oh shit," and I'm like, "What?" He's like, "You look fucking good."
See, and then that's the
So I'm
thing when
like,
you do get a
"All right,
when you get a compliment from him, you're like, oh, okay, we actually like we look really good then.
yeah, we're on now," because he'll tell you
Yeah.
you're fat the whole prep, even though you're peeled. I'm
Well,
like,
no, that's
nah,
good too. I
still a
mean,
little fat. Oh, okay.
that's not bad because it pushes you to even be better yourself too. You know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and that was like
Mm.
another thing with him. It's like I have the size, and I knew that, so I knew I had to even be peeled. So like, and I end up telling him this, so this isn't nothing he doesn't already know. But like, cardio would be like 50 minutes in the morning, and I would do an hour, and then after training, he would like take do cardio for like 10 minutes, go for a walk on the treadmill, 10-15. I would do 20 minutes to a half hour, and
Yeah.
I don't regret it. People are like, "Oh, you didn't listen." I didn't. I always do more because I know it pays off,
Totally.
and it did. And I let him know. I said like, I'm doing more, and he knew it. Like even when I was with him in Iron,
Yeah.
I was doing an hour, and he just stood there and watched. After training, he thought I was doing. I did a half hour, and he's just like, okay,
Yeah.
because I also think he also sees my body. So he's like, he's not losing anything. So
No.
he can push harder. We
Totally.
can do a little more with him.
Yeah, it'd
So
be different if you were getting super flat and you were holding it there for a while, and it's like he starts to see like okay, like he's starting to like lose tissue. But if it doesn't happen, pushing harder isn't a bad thing. It's going to pay off at the end of the day.
no, and if you know how to like even toward like the final week, like let's just say you are incredibly flat.
Mhm.
For me, as long as we don't hit that part where the body just hits complete overdrive and then I'm fucked, I
Yeah.
fill out relatively easy to a degree.
Totally.
It doesn't take. We ate a good amount of food, for both shows, but like it doesn't take like I don't have to go to 1,000 or 12,000, and I like how he did it too, because I feel like waist wise, stomach wise, digestion wise, it works well for me when we
Mhm.
do moderate carbs leading up to the show instead of like one
Mhm.
big drastic high day where
Yeah,
like it might not all be digested, you know?
totally. Well, I think too that's why he likes to use things like the rice checks versus rice because one, it's dry and it's a lot less
Yeah,
actual volume of food too.
it is. Rice
So
can be too much. We all know that.
yeah, totally.
So,
Well,
but it was yeah, and he's big on incorporating, as you even saw, like a lot of fruits too, to keep
yeah.
the rice volume low. And he likes cream of
Mhm.
rice, and he likes if he is going to give you over 100 grams of carbs, let's just say of rice, he'd rather use cream of rice because it's digests easier and it's lighter.
Totally.
Um, so I get it, and it makes sense, and I think it worked.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I'm excited to see how my prep goes with him because I've also never been fully
I'm
nailed.
excited to see how your off season goes with him first.
That too. Yeah. Because we start, I think he'll have all my stuff by the end of the weekend over.
Yeah. He's
So,
he's very detailed.
no, I'm excited. I start that and then prep starts in January.
Is that
If
what he
he wants
said?
me doing Pittsburgh. If he wants me doing Pittsburgh. Ideally, that'd be ideal world, but we'll see what he says.
I think you could pull it off. You just
So,
back's your weakest part.
yeah, that's what I just need to mainly focus. That's the main focus over everything.
He actually wants to call me later today to discuss all the training stuff because I told him I want to do like push pull legs. I like push pull legs.
Mhm.
I think it really works well.
Has that is that what you started doing since the show?
Yeah, right now that's what I've been doing. PPO.
Mhm. Okay. Are you
And
doing
I
like a full 3 on 1 off? Or are you still doing like your 5
well, right
training
now,
schedule?
yeah, we're gonna take Wednesdays, and I'm still gonna have Wednesdays and Sundays off. That's what I
Mhm.
like.
Yeah.
Um, but this week I kind of just did 3 days on, 1 day off because we trained Sunday. I
Mhm.
did Monday and Tuesday. I did take yesterday off, which was Wednesday, right? No,
Yes, sir. It's Thursday.
no, Sunday. I took Wednesday off. I did take Wednesday off because I got my hair cut. I had therapy, and we just trained 3 days, so I chilled. But I
Mhm.
trained yesterday. I'll train today, and then I'll train Saturday, and then I'll just take Sunday off, and then we'll kind of start the whatever he has planned on Monday.
Yeah. I think that's when I saw most progress was doing push pull legs because you hit everything pretty frequently.
You'll hit everything depending how it's set up. You can hit everything every three
Mhm.
to four days.
Yeah. And it's enough time for you to actually recover from everything too.
And that's where like yesterday, for example, I did push
Mhm.
and I was done in an hour.
That's perfect. You get
You
in and
know,
out and you're done.
I did three chests, two shoulders, and two tries. I did 2 to 3 sets each, no intensifiers, just really, really obviously I'm not going till failure, but just really, really intense sets that weren't till
Mhm.
failure and just moved on.
Yeah. Yeah, you
And
don't need to
I
be
had a
people
great
think you need to be in the gym.
pump, so that was good.
Well, that's the thing. People think you need to be in the gym for 2 to 3 hours, and it's like it's not the case at all.
No, I mean Dorian Yates trained for a half hour, 45 minutes.
It's pretty crazy to think that.
That would be a mind fuck for me. I'd be like, no, I'm not done. This
Yeah,
is like
you do a little bit
I need
extra.
to be here. I gotta do at least an hour, bro. Something.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think like the quickest I've gotten a workout done is 45 minutes, but even then, it still feels a little bit too like I'm like I didn't do enough stuff.
Yeah, I'll go walk on the treadmill or something. Like I can't leave yet.
No, dude, my chest. Also, we trained chest on Sunday. It was so fucking sore all the way up until yesterday.
Bro, I trained chest yesterday. I'm fine.
I literally was telling Maria every single day. I'm like, my chest hurt. Like it was like painful. It
Really?
was horrible. It's good though, but I think
Well,
once I obviously like,
that's because he pushes you too, though.
yeah, very true. That's
And
fair.
I also think, and you also got to remember too, you haven't done those specific movements your entire prep, so that's a new stimulus.
Well, yeah, all the I wanted to try all the panada presses out, and they're phenomenal. I've never tried them before.
The Panado ones, I don't like the. There was like two of them I didn't like because I like the one we did, the decline one we did. I did like, but there was the
Yeah,
incline one. I don't like it because like the handle goes on a slant. So like now my wrist is like this,
yeah.
and then so I'm just that's why we just did the prime. But a lot of Panada's equipment, I'm a fan of it. I love Panada and
Mhm.
New Tech. So
Well, we used their seated hamstring curl too. That one was really good.
which one?
At Iron Rev, the Panada one.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. That decline one's good,
Yeah,
but they had the incline one where like the handles go
it,
on a slant.
it's funky. I don't. I'm good.
I haven't used that prime one that we used in forever. I liked it. I missed using it, to be honest.
The Prime one's good. I like all the new tech presses that we use at Raw are really good.
Yeah.
Like the incline
I actually
one,
think
flat
I think
press.
Ray is gonna get some of those in iron soon. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
Sick. That'll be. You have new tech at your home gym, don't you?
huh,
Do you have any new tech at your home gym?
bro? You see all
Not
my
like
videos. The whole gym is new tech.
there's nothing else but new tech in it.
There's like 2 pieces of Panada, 2 pieces of Atlanta. The gym is all new tech, literally.
Are they like a? Because new tech does like new tech quote unquote gyms, right? Like sponsored new tech gyms.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's sponsored by New Tech, but he's very good friends with the owners. So he just
Yeah.
whenever he's first dibs.
Well, I mean, like more so, it's like a new tech, like official gym. Like you'll see gyms that'll have like a banner in there and it'll say like new tech official.
Yeah, no, he don't have that.
Oh, okay.
But he
Well,
just always makes videos, of how great new because that's all he has in there. Like
yeah.
literally, it's all New Tech with like 1 or 2 pieces of different brands.
I mean,
That's really
they're,
good.
I think out of all the companies, they've made like the biggest splash in the scene
Well,
lately.
the wait time for them too isn't that long.
Yeah.
That,
Well, for
that's also
Prime,
why.
Eddie was saying like Prime is like some pieces are upwards of like a year.
That's what I'm saying. I think New Tech. I want to say 4 to 6 months
Oh,
at
that's not bad
best.
at all, actually.
I know like Arsenals can be almost 2 years.
It's insane.
Like what like I'm making a gym, bro. Like
Yeah,
what are we
like, I'm not
talking about?
waiting. Like, I'm
I'm
not
trying to
waiting
open
at
this
all.
up within the year. You got two like
Yeah.
no, I'm okay.
No.
But so I think that's another reason why they're very I mean, despite obviously their equipment being phenomenal, I just think because the wait time isn't that long, they crush it that
Mhm.
way too.
Totally. No, I agree with that.
And they're
For
also opening up a very, 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 very big facility of all new tech in Vegas.
really, what part of Vegas are they doing it in?
Right where I live, right in Henderson.
When's do they have like a estimated date yet, or they just have like
August.
they can-
August. Yeah.
we might have to. I might. Well, we'll be out there and for the Olympia, obviously. I'm excited. That'll
Yeah.
be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun. For the well,
Fuck yeah.
speaking of like Olympia, what are you guys focusing on to improve overall coming in for the Olympia?
That's what me and Kyle will discuss. I mean, we kind of already
Mhm.
know we want more back width, back thickness, a
Mhm.
little more outer sweep, and just overall more development of the chest.
Okay.
And I think
Yeah.
those are like the main points. We obviously don't need much arms. I think
Mhm.
shoulders are pretty solid. I mean, we could cap them a little more. Hamstrings, I don't really think need that much work. I
No.
would personally like to even get them more dug out.
Yeah.
Um, and I think obviously I can use a little more size in the glute department, but I don't think that's a drastic game changer. But
Mhm.
definitely back with and a little more thickness, um, outer sweep, and more chest for sure.
Yeah. No, I think those are all you have. It's not like you're like 8 weeks before Olympia. Like you have a full 5 months, so there's plenty of time to actually make good improvements.
Oh, I could definitely pack on some improvements for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know how to, Kyle's like, take it easy this week. I don't know what the fuck that means, bro. I'm training. Like
Yeah,
I'm training. I'm just not. I just lowered the volume, but like I'm training, bro. Like
Well,
I
that's what
don't.
he means. Like it's like don't go in and kill yourself in the gym every single time.
Like I'm not going heavy. I'm not going. You know, I mean, I keep everything 10 to 15 reps, but it's a hard set. Like I'm not. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know what take it easy means, nor do I
No.
care. I'm here to train hard and get a big pump and go home.
If you feel good, it's like keep doing it, you know?
Yeah, I don't. You know, what I mean, that's why I say like, now the only thing I'm doing is just keeping track of volume. You know, I'm
Yeah.
not going 4 or 5 sets. You know, like we did in prep. Right now, it's just like two. Two very
Yes.
legitimate hard sets, and then we move on. And I would probably stay there for probably the next 4 to 6 weeks and just see what my body can do at that. And then
Hmm.
honestly, I'll just start to ramp it up a little slower and slower. But if 2 sets get the job done, 2 sets get the job done. Especially with how I train. If you know how to execute properly, I could probably do it in one. But I think two
Totally.
is good enough.
Well, two's enough to get what you need out of it. I think a lot of people they can't do the kind of volume you do with like 4 to 5 sets on a movement. That'd be way too much for them. So
Yeah.
I think as like a general rule of thumb, 2 sets to failure on each movement's pretty good in terms of like actual volume.
No, it is like and that's kind of what I'm doing. Like yesterday, I did like 6 sets of chest. Um, yeah, about 6 sets for shoulders, and I did four sets for triceps. And now I looked pumped as fuck. And to me
Yeah,
that's enough.
totally.
There's no reason
For
to there's no reason to kill yourself. Right after a show.
no, what's like even volume wise when we would train together, like I would do a set or less sometimes on certain movements because I'm like I know I can't recover from this.
Well, that's why people like. I feel like I'm like the opposite of what everyone preaches because it's like when I'm in an off season, I'll do less volume, and then when
Yeah.
I get in prep, I end up doing twice as much volume, but I recover perfectly fine.
Hmm.
And people
Well,
are
it's
like, I
whatever.
can't recover from this. Like, no, I'm barely even. The only body part that still gets sore would is legs. But like,
Mhm.
my chest maybe feel a little bit the next day, and then I'm golden. But like, I never get like sore.
Yeah. Well, it's whatever works for the individual because everybody's different. And, like everyone's body's going to respond differently. So it's like there's no one right way of training.
Nah, there's not. That's why like, if it feels good and your body's changing and you feel your sleep's fine, nothing's being jeopardized, just keep doing what you're
Hmm.
doing. Don't
Yeah,
change it.
I agree with that.
That's how I
Uh,
view it.
with you being in Jersey, well, yeah, kind of because so you're completely moving out of Florida. Are you staying full time pretty much in Jersey and you're just going to go to Vegas for like Olympia and like when you want like a little vacation? Or are you going to do like
Yeah.
half year each?
I mean, for right now, since to me, I'm in prep, so
Totally. Yeah.
um, I'll probably stay here, obviously in Jersey for the majority of this year. Obviously, go to Vegas. That's toward the end.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, once I have like a little break in between, I'll probably go to Vegas for a few weeks, hang out, relax, train, use it as a little vacay,
Yeah.
um, enjoy the food that's there and just hang out and then come back here. Probably for winters, I may go there, come back here, for
Yeah.
summers and stuff like that, depending on, wherever I'm at prep wise and things like that. But
Mhm.
yeah, it'll mainly be for the Olympia and just like getaway situations where I just don't want to be in Jersey for the moment.
Totally. Well, I know you've been enjoying it being around family because you obviously haven't been home for a while until this prep.
Yeah, and, Florida's not for me. We've already had these talks behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's just not home. I
Mhm.
don't ever see it being home. I don't like the environment.
Mhm.
And I just feel like the older I'm getting, the more I just want to be surrounded by friends and family. I mean, if I had it my way, bro, you and Maria would fucking move to Jersey.
I know.
And it's funny because the thing was, me and Kyle even had this conversation, and it like, so like when I first thought of moving back to Jersey, I'm like, I'm gonna move more like where Kyle is,
Yeah.
not because of him directly, but that's just more bodybuilding and the irons there, great gym, I love it. But then I also am like, that defeats the purpose of why I want to move back to Jersey. I want to do it to be very close and available for my family. And if I'm an hour and a
Exactly.
half away, I'm not that available.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, that's fine because an hour and a half drive isn't too bad. I could do that, a weekend trip or something, spend with him, train, things of that nature, while I'm here with them, whenever they need me, and I can be available and hang out.
Yeah.
And then I looked at Kyle, and I'm like, yo, it'd be so dope if Maria and Danilo moved to this, because I'm like, if they moved up to this part of Jersey, I said I would definitely move up to this part of Jersey. Then.
Yeah. No, and that's
Because
like I go ahead.
he was like, well, maybe you could find something like, in between, something like 40 minutes from them, 40 minutes from me. And I'm like, yeah, but is there any good gyms within those distance? Like, what the fuck are you talking
No.
about? He's like, yeah, but don't you drive 40 minutes to the gym now anyway? I'm like, true. This is
Oh yeah,
very
the gym's
true.
40 minutes from your parents' house?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Oh.
I just
I
seen,
mean,
I just seen Tef was there. Tef was at my gym 2 days straight.
is she in like the same area in Jersey?
No, no, no. She lives more toward Kyle, but
Okay.
where she lives, Iron is 40 minutes, and then my gym is 40 minutes. So
I mean,
she's
they
in,
kind of
in
has
that
a
in
point.
between area.
Yeah.
So she's in the in between area.
Hmm.
So I'm
Dang, I
like,
didn't realize the gym was that far from you.
yeah,
Well, it's
getting
not.
there is not bad, but
Yeah.
depending on weather, coming home can be a bitch. Because like yesterday was raining, so
Yeah.
it took me about over an hour to get home because of traffic.
Oh my god. Well, because your parents are
Yep.
like closer to Philly, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you get all the
The only
Philly.
like downfall to people in Jersey, it's like if it rains or there's a storm, everybody goes in panic mode and forgets how to drive,
Bro, it's
and
terrible.
there's traffic everywhere.
That's how it was
There's,
when we were
you know
driving
what?
back
You know,
then.
I never understood. This might sound stupid, but I never understood why there is traffic ever. Besides, if there's an accident, like there's lights, you hit the pedal, you go. There's turns, you go. Like there's straight road. Like how the fuck is there traffic on the highway? Like there's no lights. What do we? What's there traffic for? You go.
So like with Chicago right now, that's why we wanted to live on like outskirts of downtown because to the gym it's usually only like 30 minutes. But it went
Yeah.
from a 4-lane highway to a 2-lane highway.
Oh, you're
There
fucked.
still shouldn't be any traffic though because it's
But you
still two
understand what I'm
lanes.
saying, right?
So I was watching it happen when we were in traffic. People will like you'll have one person going slow. So then someone cuts
Yeah.
around and goes in front of them, and then they go even slower. Then you have people going in between the lanes, and it like slowly backs it up. I'm like, this is fucking dumb. If people could just learn how to drive properly,
Just
there would
drive.
be zero traffic.
Yeah, just drive. It's not that hard.
I will say though, you do kind of drive like a grandma.
I drive slow, yeah, but like I don't
This is
drive
why
slow
there's
enough to
traffic,
cause
bro.
traffic. I'm not
When we
that
were
slow.
when we were driving to the when we were driving to the gym, it's 70 on the freeway. You're going like 65.
Okay, well, in my defense, I'm in prep, and everything is slow motion in prep for me.
That's
That's
why
the
I
that's
started
my only
driving.
that's my only explanation.
That's why I was like, I'll just drive, and we get to the gym a little bit
that
quicker.
and I told you my ticket experience, so that freaked me out.
That's fair.
I got
That
I got off pretty easy on that one, so I'm like, I ain't speeding ever again. Fuck this.
well, you were going like
140.
70 over. Yeah, you're going double the speed limit. You don't need to go
And
that
it and
fast.
it he clocked me at 100.
Well, see, you can go a nice in between and go like,
But then he
you know,
clocked me at 100, but I think he gave me a ticket for even less, so I didn't have to go to court or anything. So like, he fucked up on the first run, clocked me at
mhm.
like that would fuck me up, but then he gave me a break. So I'm like, I got a double whammy here. Like shit. Like
Yeah.
I ain't. This is a sign saying don't do this shit again, cuz.
Or you're not gonna drive fast when you get your Corvette again.
Okay, yeah, that I can't promise that one, but
See, that's what I'm saying.
that's yeah. Yeah.
I was gonna say too, because we're obviously moving up to Chicago soon, and we're actually gonna move at the end of June, so we don't have to wait until
Oh,
September,
nice.
so we can get out early. But we're gonna visit Jersey a lot more frequently than I think you think, because it's such a quick flight.
It is. Yeah.
So, like I
I
said,
don't. I still have no desire to come back to Florida.
that's okay. Just hire people, like you
Like
said, to pack
I've
your stuff.
actually, I'm so lazy that I'm debating just going back after the Olympia.
Going back to Florida after Olympia,
Yeah.
and just like
Like I own it, so it ain't going nowhere.
yeah, no. I mean, if you don't
But then
want
I'm
to deal
like,
with it right now,
I got no, because I'm like, I want to sell it. I want to get rid of it. I don't want it. I
yeah,
don't want it. I want to clear it out.
yeah, that's fair.
I just don't want to travel there.
You can
I
see
mean,
us
like,
if you come here.
I love you guys, but I'm in such a fucking groove here. Like, I don't.
I know. I understand that.
When I'm in that groove, I don't want to break my groove. Like,
No, I know.
it sucks. And
No, you can
obviously,
just
I'm
hire.
just all the bullshit that's I just don't want to. I just don't want to be there.
No, I understand. You just hire some people to pack your shit and actually get a reliable car company that's going to pick your car up on time.
Well, we're trying to. Well, I got my mom calling some people. We're trying to do like a whole one stop that will just grab all my shit and um, the car at the same time.
Oh, okay. Well, if that works, it works.
Because there's companies that do that. So
Just check the Better Business Bureau, because we got fucked when we went with movers.
yeah, you did.
Just make
Yeah.
sure it's
I
reliable.
don't. But see, the thing is, it's like I don't have that much stuff. Like if it was me, I obviously have certain things that need to be
Mm-hmm.
just cleaned out.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, the only thing I want to take realistically is just my couch and my car. I don't need the clothes. I don't, I want my shoes, but like everything else, I'm gonna leave there. I'm like, I don't fucking need this shit.
Yeah. No, well, because you
And I
didn't you
feel
buy
like,
it furnished?
yeah, and honestly, I feel like that'll
Mhm.
help sell faster because who
Yeah.
doesn't want a fucking furnished house? I mean, I'm taking the couch, which is fucked up, but that's
No.
a brand new couch. But I mean, like it's furnished, right? So it saves money, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
even want money for it because I didn't pay that much for it. So I'm like, just take the fucking shit. I don't care.
And there's a brand new fridge too, because you had to get a new fridge.
And yeah, and the fridge. So technically, the reality of what I'm doing is just cleaning out the house.
Yeah.
And I would just tell I'm leaving everything: plates, pots, name it, all the condiments. I'll clean out the fridge, obviously, but yeah,
Yeah.
there's a freezer full of MegaFit, free MegaFit for you guys. Have fun, enjoy. Fuck do I care for?
Yeah. I mean, you just want to get it done and over with and have it off your hands.
Yeah,
That's okay. Well, I'm gonna try and come up to Jersey. If we're not gone in August, I'm gonna try and come up to Jersey for like a little bit to prep. If you're not in Vegas, if you're in Vegas, I'll go to Vegas, obviously.
I don't know where I'm gonna be at because I know. Well, cool. What's cool is my mom is like, 'cause I told my mom, she's like, "You want to start looking at places?" And I'm like, "Not really," because I don't want to get like excited about a place. Because I don't want to pay for three places right now. So
Yeah.
she was actually she's like, "Okay, well, you can just stay here." Like even like because she don't even want me to pay for a storage unit. She was like, "Just bring everything here, and we'll just put it in the basement until you sell it and you get a
Mhm.
spot." So I'm like, "Okay, cool."
That's
And then
nice.
I don't know when I'll go to Vegas yet. I still want to plan
Mhm.
for that. And I
Yeah.
know, I was having some discussions with Kyle. I even might go stay at his a little um, for a longer prep thing than I did for 2 weeks. So we'll see how that goes.
Right. So like you go there, and then from there you guys would head to Vegas together.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is I might be at his house a lot longer than
Than you
you
were
think.
previously. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay.
majority of the prep.
That's not a bad thing though, because he can look at you like you said, every single day, and it's
Yeah, and honestly, with him even being in prep, I feel like I'm one of the only few people that can push that motherfucker. So
Totally.
It would be good for him too.
Yeah,
And
it'd
then
help both of
obviously
you.
whenever you and Maria come down, we do it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm
So
excited. He's in the process, obviously, of moving too. Everybody's moving.
his is the most complicated move out of everyone.
Yeah. Well, are they
Because
full?
he's
Because he.
they're staying in an apartment right now, or like an Airbnb type thing for like a month. They don't move into their place till the same as you guys technically, which is the end of June or beginning of July,
Yeah.
depending. So they're in there
That's
for about a month or so.
that's a very weird space to be in. Like you're not in your house yet, but you have like
No,
your
so it's
stuff
like you
with
got to
you.
move and then move again. You
Yeah.
know, my
I'm
mom's
so
funny
tired
as
of
shit
moving.
though. My mom, she's like, "Well, if you're gonna fucking stay here, we need to buy shelves for all your fucking subs and stuff because it's everywhere."
Are they
I'm
just sitting
like,
on the
"Talk,
counter?
yeah, bro."
Dude, it's like the
I'm like,
Airbnb.
bro, since I've been gone, because I changed my mailing address to their house. So
Yeah,
since
yeah.
I've been gone, they've been getting Celsius, Wolfpack, like so much shit, to the fucking house. All the
Your mom's like, what
Elevate
the fuck
stuff,
is all
HD stuff. And they're like, what the fuck?
this? Well, yeah,
But my
because
mom
anytime we
loves
come over,
Wolfpack.
you'd have like, go ahead.
It pays off though, because my mom loves the Wolfpack. My brother loves the Celsius. So I drink a little bit. I use it for my promotions, and then I'm like, here, I give a lot to Louis, my brother, because he likes the shit. He drinks Celsius, so
Yeah.
it works out.
Well, yeah, nothing
But
goes
yeah,
to
we see.
waste.
No, so she wants to buy like another like cabinet type thing to put everything on. So I'm like, that's fine. We can do that.
Yeah, you kind of you stress me out with Airbnbs during shows.
I know. Well, there was nowhere to put
It's okay.
it.
No, I know. The kitchen that we had at both places was very small. I will say that.
Between my stuff, some of your stuff, the
I
other
know.
kid stuff, Kyle's stuff, like there was
Yeah.
no room. The only
No.
I don't think it's that bad. I think my only true bad habit is the water bottles. I'll say that.
Bro,
The sub
Maria was like,
the
she's like, can
subs
we throw these away?
The subs, like, listen, there's nowhere for them to go. Like, they're sitting here. But the water
No. Yeah.
bottles, I'll say I suck at getting rid of water bottles.
There's literally like 20 water
Bro,
bottles just around the house. You got
hold
one
on, hold on,
sitting right there.
hold on. Hold on. How many slip you? How does this thing work? Can we flip?
You should be able to.
What's this partner do? No, what's this do? Oh, no, that's
Turn
not
the
it.
camera off.
Well, I'll just go like this.
Bro, this is what I'm talking about. This is how the whole Airbnb looked at both places.
I'm bad. That's probably like my biggest, what's the word?
Bad
Um,
habit.
Yes, bad habit. That's probably my
Red
worst
flag.
habit.
That's
Yeah.
your only red flag that you have is water
Like
bottles.
I clean the house, I do everything. I just leave water bottles everywhere.
And that's the only thing that's okay then.
Yeah. Like, well, it's funny too, because this morning my mom doesn't like me to touch anything because she's afraid I'm gonna break shit. But
Yep.
I'm like, Mom, can I bring my laundry basket downstairs? And then she was like, yeah, but I'm not gonna be able to do it until I get home. And I'm like, I can do laundry, Mom. Like, I'm not 12.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, but you need to be careful. I'm like, Mom, I've lived in like 4 different houses and I've never broken a washer or dryer. I think I'm good. Just show me how this one works and I'm good. And she's like, all right, I'll show you in the morning. So I'm like, okay, thank you.
Well, now you can do your own laundry.
Listen, as cool as it is to be at home and have somebody do all your shit, like I want to do my own shit. Like I can do it. Like
Yeah.
let me do my own shit. Like
Yeah.
just trust me. Having your clothes washed very nicely, you don't having your dishes washed all the time, phenomenal. But I can do it. Like you're my
Yeah.
mom. Like I can do it. Like I'm good.
There gets
Just
a point where you're like,
show me how you like it done, so I don't fuck up your OCD ness, and I will handle it. She's
let's see
like,
where you get your
okay.
OCD from now.
Oh, she's yeah. Me and her. I have every good trait of my mother and every bad trait of hers, and I don't really have anything from my dad.
That's interesting.
My brother's personality is the exact replica of what my dad is, and my
Yeah.
personality is literally the exact replica of what my mother is. I've just become more intense at this
More
point.
intense than your mom?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait, I see where
For
you get
sure.
it. You guys are like two peas in a pod.
Literally. That's why we butt heads as much as we do. And
Yeah.
that's why we get along as well as we do. Because we
We love your
both have
parents,
to have the
though.
last word. We always have to have the last word no matter what.
Yeah.
But then we get along perfectly fine. So it's and then my dad, he's the quiet one. My brother's the quiet one. They both, they
Mhm.
both bust out stupid ass dad jokes and shit like that. They're very just low key, and me and my mom
Mhm.
are not low key in the slightest bit.
Philly fan 39. He's our he's our
Dude, I'll
favorite.
never forget when he made that, bro. Literally, we were sitting next to each other because I was watching prejudging at when I did Teen Collegiate Nationals,
Yeah.
and like I don't even remember 2014, I guess. And I said, bro, make an Instagram, like fuck it, who cares? So he literally was making it at the show, sitting next to me while we were watching. I don't know, I think it was girls doing prejudging, and he's like, all right, I made it. I said, cool, let me see. I'm like, Phillies fan? I won't say what I really said, but I'm like, what? Like, how about your
Yeah.
name? Let's start there. How about Lou Walker? Let's start there. Maybe that works. I don't understand the problem.
When
And
did he
he's like,
change?
oh, yeah. And he's like, I'll pick what I want. And I'm like, you're gonna get made fun of, but all right.
That's so
When?
funny. Yeah.
Dude, I think he changed it. I mean, it feels like last year he changed it, but it might have been his name for the past couple of years. But he had Phillies fan for at least 10 years.
That's crazy. That's
At
so
least.
wild.
I feel like at least 10 years.
That's so funny. Your parents are
And I'm
awesome, though. We
like,
love your parents.
oh no, they're the most supportive parents I think anyone could truly ever have, to be honest.
Absolutely.
That's probably the only time I ever see my mom like truly happy is at a show.
Really?
Like smile, like she's always happy, but I mean, like when you go somewhere, you're really excited about it, like little kid
Totally.
going to
Yeah.
Disney. Like I feel
Yeah.
like bodybuilding shows is like my mom's Disney World.
Well, dude, between them and Maria, my fucking ears were blown out after the show.
I love my mom, but tell me that shit ain't annoying as fuck, bro. Oh my
Well, her and your
god!
dad both are so loud, and then Maria's screaming in my right ear. I'm like, I can't fucking hear anything now.
Not only did you lose your voice, but you're deaf as shit now, bro.
Yeah,
Deaf as
that's
fuck.
okay.
I
That's,
love my mom. But that voice, when that shit gets high pitched, I'm like, oh, I got a headache. I can't do this.
well,
I
it's
can't.
good because
That's
you
why
can.
I pinpoint her voice out very easily. I couldn't really in Pittsburgh because I think there was so
Yeah,
much noise in general. But at New
yeah,
York, I know exactly where she was sitting. I don't even have to look. I know where she's at.
yeah. Well, you
I
can hear
was,
everybody because it was a smaller, it was a more intimate venue.
oh yeah,
No,
it was. But you can't miss that voice. You
no, bro.
just,
It's
it's
very
it's right in your
distinct.
it's right in your face. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Well, do you want to wrap things up, or you have anything else you want to talk about?
Um,
Well, actually,
I
let's
think it's a
cover.
good.
Let's
What do you want to do?
your sponsors because you obviously are with HD now. I know you made like a little
Oh
announcement
yeah,
on.
so obviously, yeah, I got back with HD. I think 3 weeks before Pittsburgh, 4 weeks before
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
hmm a
3 weeks.
couple weeks before.
So yeah, that went. I love Dorian. I love Mariah. I love Blake, and Julian's obviously a really cool guy. And I think with them now taking over, them having Elevate involved, them being the head honchos of HD, I just feel like HD is going to become a very good bodybuilding powerhouse. I think
Totally.
it's going to stick to the roots, and they have a lot of cool subs coming out within the next couple of months. Toward the end of the year, which I'm very excited about. Which I can tell you when we're done.
Mhm.
Um, and I just feel like as long as they keep with this momentum, which I feel like they are, because they're all very excited about it.
Yeah,
I do see it rising very, very quickly to the top for sure.
for sure. No, I definitely think that within like the next couple of years, they can be up with like all like the big name brands at shows and doing all the expos and everything too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're going to be at the Arnold. When I talked to Julian, I think they said they're going to do the Arnolds and the Olympias. So that'll be cool. That's going to be
Yeah,
very exciting. Of course, Elevate will be there as well.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then obviously, right before New York, I signed with Dark Sport,
Hmm.
which they're awesome. I actually like them. They came by the Airbnb to do a little footage, and they seemed very nice, very very
They were
generous
really nice.
people. They
Yeah,
seem like they just are very involved and take care of their athletes, which I truly truly can admire. So I'm excited to be a part of them. And yeah, obviously I have Celsius, Mega Fit,
Celsius, Wolfpack, Megafit. Yeah, a lot of people.
Wolfpack. Got it. Yeah. So I mean, what new tech as well.
New tech,
So
yeah,
it's cool, man. Everything's. I feel like everything's going the way it needs to go right now.
yeah. You have a lot of good momentum coming out of the shows and going into Olympia, so I think it's gonna be a good year regardless. But there's a lot of things that are I
Now,
think with this Olympia, it's like now, especially after these two big shows, everyone's like, "What the fuck's gonna happen?"
I think people now know. This wasn't a comeback. This is the show everyone had
No.
never loved.
Yes.
I didn't go anywhere. I
People
just
forgot.
had
Like it's like they
I
forgot you
just
competed last year.
yeah, I just been through some shit in my life that obviously took away from a lot of things, but I didn't leave,
No.
you know. I feel like a comeback would be like if I said I retired and came back. That's coming
Yeah.
back. I didn't
Or
come
if you're
back. You know what I
no.
mean?
If you've gone
But
like
this
3 years, but you competed last year, you just missed the last two Olympias. It's like,
yeah. And I just we came back with a package that I told Kyle from the start that we need to do, and that was to shock the world, and that's what we did. So I'm
yeah,
very proud of that, and I think within the next 20 weeks we can develop something even better and do the same thing again.
totally. I'm excited, man. We're gonna have everyone there. The whole
Fuck
team,
yeah!
village of people is gonna be there. It's gonna be fun. I'm
It,
excited for it.
it's about to go down.
It's about to go down. Well,
And that was like
this was
so this
fun.
that was the thing before we wrap up. I had like this
Oh yeah.
talk with Chris Cormier, and he was like, "Look, I know you won. I know you want to chill, and I want you to chill a little bit. I want you to embrace the win." He's like, "But you got
Mm.
20 weeks to
Yeah.
improve." He's like, "Don't stop. Take
No.
advantage of it." And I take that personal because outside of like obviously my family, you guys truly believing in me, when a really higher up that I respect a lot, like Chris Cormier, that tells
Hmm.
me like you you can do it. Just even though you think you got a long time, which you do, it's in these moments that will make a big difference, when you actually start your prep. So stay on
Hmm.
it, and I promise, you can win. And it's
Totally.
like that was like, fuck yeah, like I'm on
Yeah.
it. So I respected that a lot.
Well, I think
And
when you have like,
he actually wants to come down and put me through some workouts too. So that'll be fun.
oh really?
Yeah.
That's nice. Is he gonna come up to Jersey or when you're in Vegas?
I mean, I'm sure he'll come to Jersey. I mean, he went to fucking Tampa for Derek.
That's fair. Well, where is he based out of?
He lives in Cali, I believe. I believe he lives in Cali.
Oh yeah, because he trains out of Golds in Venice, doesn't he?
No, he's there, but he's at that. What's it? Is it called like just the gym or something? That one gym in
Oh
San
yeah, yeah,
Diego.
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Hmm.
I think that's like where he's normally
Main.
at when he's at home. So
Okay. I like he actually he when I did the amateur Olympia in 2023, I was going to take check-in pictures for my coach at the time, and he was like, "Are
yeah,
you posing?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Okay." And he's like, "Let me see. I'll give you some like." Yeah, I was like, "Oh, that's fucking cool." And so he
that's
gave
cool
me
as
like some
fuck,
tips on
bro.
my poses and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, I
that's
like
cool
Chris
as
a lot.
fuck when the old heads do that. You know what I mean? And
Well, yeah,
Chris
because you
loves to
get
help people. Chris loves to help people.
all
So
these new
eh,
bodybuilders have like no idea who these guys are. I'm like, you don't fucking know who this is? Like,
one of the fucking greatest. That's
Yeah,
who it is. You know,
exactly.
so yeah,
So
he's always been someone I looked up to. So knowing I have like big support from him too, like it's awesome for sure.
you have a lot of people behind your back this year, and I think it's really cool. Again, I'll say it again. Like after these last shows, like how many people actually like are like, yo, like Nick's like everyone that said shit isn't saying shit anymore. You know.
Very silent.
So I think it's gonna be a good year.
I think so, bro. I think so.
Well, that wraps up episode 1. This was fun. I enjoyed this. We'll do a lot more. This is probably going to be like the most, I feel like, bodybuilding heavy one, besides obviously when
Yeah,
you do a show. But we will dive into some non bodybuilding topics. So if anybody has anything that they want to see or hear, let us know.
we should do some like Q&A stuff too.
We should. We can actually, the next one we do, we can throw up a poll on each of our Instagrams and get some questions
Yeah,
up and then read them out through the podcast.
let's do it.
Sweet. Awesome. Well, I appreciate everyone joining. We will see you guys very soon for episode number 2.
Peace.